And we begin with Representative Ilhan Omar, who's now going on the offensive and outrageously claiming that there's no justification at all for the federal response to Minnesota's jaw-dropping fraud scandal. I guess the feds should just look the other way, maybe take a holiday and run down to Maui for a couple of weeks. Despite the fact that some estimates now peg the damage at more than $9 billion and that most of the alleged fraudsters charged with related crimes are of Somali descent, Omar says the Trump administration's efforts to deal with the massive problems plaguing her state, they're completely unnecessary. She claims that instead of legitimately trying to deal with the issues in a responsible manner, federal agents are merely sowing fear, confusion, and chaos wherever they go, and basically making life miserable for everyone who lives there. Well, not exactly accurate. We'll get to that in just a bit. Now, taking it a step further, Omar says there's no reason at all for thousands of ICE agents to waste any more time conducting raids in Minneapolis because, according to her, none of the searches they've conducted so far have produced any sort of criminal activity at all. She goes on to argue that up till now, all 87 people who've been charged with fraud-related crimes in Minnesota were done so in a highly cooperative manner between state officials and the former Biden administration. Meanwhile, she claims the current Trump administration has not found enough evidence to charge a single person. Not yet, anyway. In a nutshell, Omar says the federal government is trying to rely on misdirection by using inflammatory rhetoric and cutting off her state's food stamp funding, claiming that it's all merely part of a highly orchestrated PR stunt, all designed to hurt her constituents. America, you decide, a PR stunt or trying to track down billions in fraud? She's also stepping way out on a limb and claiming that right now, in addition to arresting violent criminals, ICE agents are actively disappearing American citizens as well, thus threatening the U.S. democracy.
Oh, come on!
She's basically trying to say the sky is falling. Yeah, I kind of get that. Now, for their part, the Department of Homeland Security, they say that Omar's outrageous comments are part of a ridiculous lie which demonizes law enforcement, promotes violence against them, and makes their already challenging jobs that much more difficult. They also report that since they recently kicked off their Operation Metro Surge efforts in Minneapolis, their officers and agents have already arrested more than 1,500 illegal aliens in the area, including a large number of extremely violent criminals. Final thought, and this is the News Roundup Lowdown. And according to my little bucket of sunshine, that one, Ilhan Omar, a federal response to this monumental scandal is wholly unnecessary, which is her fancy way of saying, what's a lousy $9 billion between friends? Simply look the other way and pretend nothing ever happened. Actually, I kind of like that. Highly convenient. On the other hand, when that amount of taxpayer money goes missing, the feds have an obligation to investigate, determine who has broken any number of laws, conduct investigations, arrest guilty parties, conduct trials, and hold responsible those who got rich off the federal government. Her claims of confusion, chaos, intimidation, nothing more than a byproduct of those who have enabled all this fraud to take place, and to blame anybody else for all the drama. That's what they call Psychology 101, projection. A massive chunk of this fraud happened on her watch in her 5th district, and she wants you to think it's the feds who are the bad guys. Now, regarding her claim that ICE agents are creating terror in Minnesota, she's delusional. There are ICE agents in big cities all over the country with law enforcement duties to carry out, and if you've done nothing wrong, you'll experience absolutely no terror. By the way, because I don't want there to be any hard feelings between me and Ms. Omar, I'm leaving out the part where she recently became the proud new mom of $30 million. Because bringing that up at this particular juncture, it just wouldn't seem appropriate. And you can take that to the bank.